Hi, this is Samaritan, and you are watching Project Legal Renaissance podcast number 1. Today we are going to discuss about Baluchistan issue, and this podcast comes in light of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's reference to the Baluchistan province, insurgency in the same, and perhaps let's call it the freedom movement in the same, and human rights aspects, and how Pakistani army has been involved in violation of human rights in the Baluchistan province. Perhaps first we'll be talking about the history, the background of the conflict, and what exactly is the geographical location of Baluchistan. Then we'll be talking about the insurgency in general, looking at aspects of, let's say, Baluch Liberation Army and so on and so forth. Then we'll look at human rights violation, and then we'll look at the international importance of the issue and what would the implications if Baluchistan becomes perhaps an independent country, right? So starting with this idea of an independent Baluchistan being existent out there. Well, Baluchistan is in the southwestern part of Pakistan, is the biggest province of Pakistan, perhaps richest province in terms of natural resource wealth. However, when looked at from the aspects of economy, it is the poorest. The province of Pakistan is also comprises of 7% population of Pakistan, and is perhaps kind of suppressed, kind of controlled by the Pakistani army, which is Punjabi dominated. Well, when we look at Baluchistan, the insurgency has its roots in the independence and looks in the freedom from the British rule, and looks a lot similar to the Kashmiri case in 1947. The then king of Yar Khan of Baluchistan decided not to cede to Pakistan or India and decided to form an independent country of their own. However, Pakistan kind of did not like the idea and sent across troops to Baluchistan. When Pakistani troops took a military action against Baluchistan, the then king Yar Khan seceded to Pakistan. However, brother of Yar Khan did not agree with the whole idea and henceforth continued with the insurgency. There have been 5 waves of insurgency since, and the last and the most brutal perhaps wave, the wave that has resulted in most human rights violation, killing of largest number of people, is the current wave, which started in 2003. Well, one thing to be noted here is that Baluchs don't just claim the province of Pakistan, the southwestern province Baluchistan of Pakistan, as their as a province that should be turned or included in a united Baluchistan, or in a united Baluch country, but they also claim Sistan and Baluch province of southern Iran in an independent country. However, the movement and its space in Iranian region is quite low, perhaps non-existent when compared to that in Pakistan. Well, the movement can be seen in terms of Baluch Liberation Army as being one of the biggest insurgency organization in Baluchistan. It has been labeled as a terrorist organization by Pakistan and United Kingdom, and has been involved in multiple wrongdoings, multiple acts of terrorism, so labeled terrorism by Pakistan and United Kingdom, and perhaps has been very active since 2003. However, when we look at human rights issues and record of Pakistan in this, we see that Pakistani army has been involved in violation of various human rights. In fact, Pakistan has used its air force in the region against its own citizens in the region. It is reported by many human rights organizations that approximately 19,000 people have gone missing in the region. There are people who have organized walks from all the way from Quetta, the capital of this region, to Islamabad, asking for justice and saying that their loved ones are missing, and there have been military actions and a number of people have died In fact, there's extreme brutality whenever there's an uprising. Pakistani army reacts extremely brutally on it, and there have been reports that suggest that number of people have died in armed violence from both sides. Insurgents have been involved in killing multiple people. So is the case with Pakistani army. Now, when we look at involvement of India and other international aspects related with the Baluchistan insurgency, we will realize that it's far more complex. Pakistan claims that research and analysis wing of India has been involved in instigating insurgency in this region. It claims that there are a number of training camps, perhaps 10, that is the number that Pakistan claims, are within Afghanistan, just beside the border with Pakistan, that are training insurgents, Baluch insurgents, in fighting against training Baluch insurgents, and Pakistan claims that India is involved in this whole operation. India has been financing it. India has been providing Baluch rebels with arms, and this has been quite an issue for them. They've been claiming that they might take the issue of foreign involvement in Baluch rebellion issue to the United Nations, and so on and so forth. What we see is that if the issue gains popularity, it's quite likely that Pakistan will have to be a little more cautious and will have to consider human rights as well while dealing with Baluch rebels. And maybe the reports say, for instance, involvement of India in instigating insurgency in the region might have to be brought under some form of control. But it's highly unlikely, looking at the way situations have been developing in Kashmir, looking at the way Prime Minister Modi claims that there have been problems in Baluchistan of human rights violation, and looking at the fact that India is now playing an active foreign policy role. Well, we might not see stability returning very soon to the Baluchistan region. However, the institutional stand of Project Legal Renaissance is that human rights should be backed, human rights should be protected in the region, and no government has a right to violate human rights of its own citizen by sending in armed forces and air force and not allowing the citizens a right to self-determination. Thank you for listening. Down there, there's a button. Please subscribe to us. Go to our Facebook page, like us, go to our blog. There are many more exciting policy and legal aspects. You got to look at them and have a wonderful time. I hope you enjoy this podcast.